Not so hidden, yet authors explain in ways perhaps others have not considered. This is one of those books that reads as though you've always known exactly what the authors are presenting. You just never considered actually breaking it out exactly like this. Part corporate leadership, part corporate ethics, and part self-help. It is a guide to thinking ethically even in tough situations, lest you find yourself and your company embroiled in scandals as infamous as the ones detailed herein, and others far less famous, yet impactful. Speaking as someone who has worked in one of the largest companies in the world, a global megacorporation generally in the lower half of the Fortune 50 the entire time I worked there, this is one that corporate leaders are going to love so that they can claim they are doing something about corporate ethics education. So we'll see how much those same companies really take to heart the actual message of this text and truly make changes across the board, rather than just dictating to crew dogs some, usually not completely thought out, at least at the lowest levels, written in stone and just as hard to adapt rules to follow that will change with the next corporate ethics book leadership reads. Hell, maybe they can even save some money and just buy a lot of copies of this book rather than hiring expensive consultants to tell them the exact same thing, because they read this book asterisk. But seriously, having been involved in the mentorship program at that employer as a mentor to more junior colleagues, this is absolutely a book I would have recommended they read. And indeed, even in my current role where I also help mentor a junior colleague, I'm absolutely going to recommend this book to both my boss and my colleague. It really does lay things out quite clearly, at least so far as its framework goes. The one criticism I have, though not rising quite to the level of a star deduction, is that its application of its framework can feel at times forced and at other times a touch too heavy-handed or even myopic. Yes, it technically fits with both Enron and Theranos as described, but there were absolutely other factors in both of those situations that were just as critical to their scandals that don't fit the overall framework as neatly, which were ignored or explained away with essentially a hand wave. But read this book anyway. It really is quite solid, and it absolutely gives off the "I always knew this" impression, even when you clearly didn't think of it in these exact terms or framework, and these exact terms and framework may indeed help you to be a more ethical worker and leader. Very much recommended.